podcast for him to detail his journey up to this point. As ever, with the brilliant Fran Wilde, this is the latest and the final episode of the MotoGP podcast in 2023. Enjoy.
So Alex Rins, for those of you joining us without having read the title of the podcast episode or watched the bit before in the Gear Up show, welcome, LCR Honda Castrol rider, making a glorious return after a really tough few months for you, well, longer than a few months now. But first question, we always start with the easy one. How are you? How are you feeling coming into this weekend? For you is a little bit a deeper question maybe as you make a comeback.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. As you said, more than a few months. This one, it was, I think, the hardest one in my career, because this one happens in July.
It's in Mugello.
Mugello sprint race. I destroyed the tibia, the fibula, everything. So it was hard. It was hard because month by month I was feeling better and better. But every month we passed, my feelings are that, okay, I can do now more things. I'm feeling good to do more things. But in the end, when I was trying to, for example, in summer, we went to the beach, and it was hard for me to stay stable in the waves, because I was feeling a lot of pain, for example. Or in home, I was taking my son Lucas in the buggy. We were going into the mountain, but I was feeling a lot the stones and everything.
Like when it's not level, right?
Exactly.
And you have to balance.
Yeah, so it was hard for this part. It was hard because I missed a lot of races. To see your college riding on a bike on the circuits, making races, it makes me feeling nervous, because I was in home with the leg in the air, recovering. It was so hard, but right now to be here in Valencia, I'm quite happy because we tried 1 month ago in Mandalika, and then in Phillip Island on Friday, and that race and a half was good for us because we saw that I had a small hernia on the fibula. So after Phillip Island, I fly back to Madrid. I get the small operation, small surgery on the leg. And after that, I was feeling much better, honestly. I go out from the hospital walking, and this was a really good news. Then last Wednesday, I jump on the...
The way you said that, I thought you were going to say, and that's last Wednesday, this bad thing happened. I was like, no. And then last Wednesday, I guess you got back on a bike.
Yeah, last Wednesday, I go back again on the bike, in a 1000 bike, in Montmeló, in Circuit of Catalunya. And the feeling was quite good. I mean, that kind of bike is much heavier than a MotoGP bike. It's like 60, 80 kilos heavier. And you know that Montmeló, first corner is right, is a chicane, then corner 3 is a long right, and immediately on the second lap I was feeling much better, with my leg, with my body. I was handling better the bike, so it was like a great news for me, for my team. This Monday I make an X-ray on the leg, and the leg was a bit more consolidating comparing in Phillip Island that in Melbourne I checked it, no?
Ah, yeah, you went to Melbourne,
yeah,
right?
I went to Melbourne on Saturday morning. And I mean, it takes time. Many people, many friends, when I'm talking to them, they say, but why you are not on the bike? Why are you missing many races? Then I explain them, no, the situation. I mean, I had the tibia destroyed the bone explodes. So when I show them the pictures, they understand.
Like,
now
oh,
why.
okay, yeah.
It's not like a simple fissura, no?
What's the fracture?
It was not a simple fracture. But yeah, right now it's a shame that this is the last race, because I'm starting to feeling much better, no? And to be here, I'm not here to win the race. I would like to, but in my condition right now, I cannot. But to be here, it's like for training, to adapt, to find to find a little bit the way, no, with my leg. Luckily, we have a test on after Monday and Tuesday, but unluckily the season is over, no? You know what I mean?
I feel you. So, okay, I don't know, should we go? I think we'll go for the fan questions now that we have from Instagram, and then I'm going to rewind you back to this time last year and talk about that a little bit.
Emotive last year.
Yes. So we'll go for the first one, which is a simple one, and I promise that we have not inserted this. Someone's actually asked it. It's Bavo Manon Sumaga, not sure where they're from. Tell us, are you hashtag Team Pecco or hashtag Team Martin? Now you've got, I can see a few reasons why you'd be one or the other. Hat, passport.
No, look, I have a really good relationship with Martin. I have a good relationship with Pecco, you know. But for sure, I'm Team Martin. He's like Spaniard. We live in the same country, in Andorra. We see each other often, no. So I'm pushing and cheering for him, because he deserves. It's unbelievable that I think it's his third year in MotoGP.
Yes, it
or
must
something
be,
like
because
this.
he won 21 was his first win, and
exactly.
he was a rookie. Yeah.
So I'm so happy for him. He deserves this chance, no, to get to winning a world championship in MotoGP. I also like Pecco, but for sure I'm Team Martin.
Fair enough. Good reasons. Good reasons.
And you? You are?
I can't possibly say, but I'll tell you after we finish.
Okay.
So we have next one, completely different question.
You are
from
Team Rins.
Ganesha. Always between now and the next 20 something minutes, of course. No, from Ganesha Sap 274. What's your favourite food?
Well,
If you say like tortilla española or something like that, I'll just walk away.
you know, I like a lot the food, so I'm always fighting with my dietist.
Okay,
No.
your dietitian.
With
I
my
think is the
dietitian,
word?
yeah.
Or nutritionist.
With my
Maybe
nutritionist,
that's the best word, yeah.
Because I like a lot to eat things. You know, now it's been like 1 year and a half, close to 2 years that I'm vegetarian.
Okay.
So
Did you make that decision? What's behind that?
I make that decision because I want to go one step forward on my nutrition, on my body, on my energy, with my energy, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I will say I have like two, no, like pizza or
Classic.
tortilla de patatas.
Oh, no, really?
With onion, yeah.
Oh, I knew there was a risk of it every time. Okay, so Italy, Spain. It's always, for me, it's always the battle when it's Spaniard, because Italian food is so
They say
good.
pasta, right?
Always, or pizza. So it's Anna Christina. Now, a flash forward to something I'm sure we'll talk more about a little bit anyway. Are you looking forward to working with Fabio and Yamaha, and are you friends with Fabio?
I'm excited, honestly, to go to Yamaha next year because you know it's a factory team. It's a team with a lot of history. Fabio is there, that he is a really talented and fast rider. So for sure we will learn a lot each other, no? Let's see, right now on the table looks like that Yamaha and Honda, the two Japanese manufacturers, are struggling a little bit. So yeah, let's see if with Fabio we can do a good job and we can turn around the situation.
Okay, so good answer. And then final one of the fan questions for now. Just Dudes 5000, incredible username, wants to know who inspired you to be a MotoGP rider?
Who inspires me?
So who did you watch when you were, I guess, when you were a child and thought, I want to do that? Or
Look, honestly, the one that inspires me to continue is Valentino, because when I was more like a baby, like a child, I was looking the TV and I was looking like Valentino, also Pedrosa. No, I was going with the backpack in the school with Pedrosa, with the 26. But honestly, when I was really young, I didn't see that much the races.
really? Oh, scandal.
Because it was so difficult for me to stop and to sit in the sofa. I was always doing things, no? So when I was not racing, I was with a bicycle. When not in the mountain, when not doing some chaos, you know.
I like that. I like doing some chaos is a great phrase. So when you were little then, when did you first ride a bike? Because like you said just before, you've never been on this before. Often we go into like how you got here in your career.
What do you mean?
Not hours and hours. When's the first time you rode a motorcycle when you were a child? Or what's your first memory of it, if you don't?
Okay, I have memories with 3 years old with a quad, like 4 wheels, there in Valdealgorfa, close to Alcañiz, in our village, riding with that quad. I have images in my head, no?
Where were you riding a quad in Valdealgorfa? Because we stay there often.
Everything is like this, right?
Yeah, and I'm like,
Everything up and down.
On the streets, or did you have a track?
On the street, for
really?
sure, on the street. But I have memories on my first race when I was 6 years old in motocross. I remember that our first race it was in Amposta, and I go with one friend that we start together. His name is Mark. We start together and we get our fathers get some, you know, like the Volkswagen, the camper one.
Yeah.
So we were sleeping there, and I have memories from a lot of memories from that race.
And were you really fast straight away, or were you slow starter?
No, I remember that my first year I win the Aragon Championship, but I don't have memories that I was super fast from the beginning.
When's the first time you remember being like, oh, I am fast, or you really like competed at the front and thought, this is my thing?
You know, we passed from motocross to supermoto when I jumped from 50cc to 65cc. So in 65, I did just one race in motocross, and one motocross guy, Neil Arcarons, when we were jumping, and he jumped over me. So in that moment, I say, okay, let's try another thing because this is so scary. And then my father put some slicks on that bike, and we start to do supermoto. We were going to Vic, we were going to El Vendrell, many places, no? And we start to make that Catalan championship where I think Mark was doing in 85cc, and Maverick also, many people.
So from there then, when did you decide to be professional, or when did you first think that, okay, I can actually, this is not a hobby, I'm actually good at this and I can make a future at this?
You know, I was racing like for a hobby, because I was...
Just for fun?
Yeah, just for fun, just because I was missing school days.
Great.
We were going with the...
Great message for the youth.
No, but you know, my first memory, like, to say to me, you know, like, wow, this is important, maybe in 2012. My-
2012, that's so late.
Yeah, my first year of Moto3 in the World Championship. When I get the Spanish Championship in 2011, I was racing for fun. Okay, I was training, I was in the gym, I was doing. I start with the nutritionist, but not professionally, you know.
Okay, interesting. Okay, because I think in the press conference before the final race of the season when Bastianini, Marini, etc. were fighting for Moto2, I thought Inea's quote was iconic, where I was like, yeah, this year I decided to take it seriously. But he's not the only one. If you're already at World Championship level and then... So what made you decide then, okay, was it someone saying something to you like, hey, you need to like choose and really commit to this, or was it
I mean,
you?
Just myself, the situation, going away into the overseas races, first race in Qatar, direct. I never...
You didn't wildcard before, did you? No.
No, because I'm from December. So,
of course,
yeah,
so yeah, you have to
exactly.
wait. Uh-huh.
So direct, my first time out of maybe out of Europe, out of Spain or Italy that I've been, it was direct to Qatar. So in that time I say, okay, this is serious. We need to take serious.
Well, from then on you've been super fast in pretty much everything. What do you remember from like the first time you won a race then?
What I remember?
Yeah.
The first time I won.
How did it feel? If you've only decided to take it seriously, like almost months before that.
Yeah. The first thing on my first year in Moto3, I did it a podium in Le Mans in a wet race. I finished third, and it was amazing. Then the first victory comes in 2013 in Austin. That year that I was fighting till this last race with Maverick and Salom for the championship. It was amazing. No?
It was pretty crazy to think then you decided to take it seriously, you get your first podium, then you're fighting for the World Championship.
Yeah.
But, you know, and then from Moto2 then, obviously still super quick, fighting at the front again. MotoGP, completely new situation for you. I know we're now in Honda colours. We're also going to talk a little bit about Yamaha, hopefully. But that first kind of experience then with Suzuki, how was that moving up to the Premier class? And kind of, because Luca Marini said to us last week, he still gets like, ooh, and like excited in pit lane when he sees everyone going out and realises like, I'm a MotoGP rider.
I had the same feeling in Qatar than in Moto3. I mean, when I arrived in Moto3 in 2012,
It's your first ever race as well.
In my first ever race, we did some tests before this race, you know, the IRTA test in Qatar the week before. So I jump on FP1 and it passes like super fast. I mean, when they show checkered flag, I say, that's it. Exactly the same for MotoGP. I mean, I was like, let's say, a lot of excitement on my body that I couldn't enjoy that much on my first FP1 of MotoGP. I remember that when I jumped from Moto2 to MotoGP in the test here.
Was it you who had a big crash here when you did that?
It was I think 2 days that test.
I think it was as well, yeah.
The first day I was riding like well, just trying the MotoGP and everything, and the second day I had a nasty crash on corner 12.
Yeah, I remember being quite concerned about that, watching out the window.
Yeah, because I lose the front very strange, and I hit the back, and it was a small fracture on two vertebras here.
Vertebrae, yeah.
So, but then when I come back, I was talking with the team in Suzuki, with the mechanics, and they say, wow, we saw you the first day, like you jump on the bike, you come in and you were destroyed, like physically.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a big step, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very big step, yeah.
Well, now you're not destroyed by MotoGP, and you won obviously a good few races with Suzuki. How was that experience in that team there? It looked like pretty good one from the outside, and you had some iconic wins. The one that, well, I don't know, there's a few, isn't there? The Silverstone one. If you rewatch that on the video pass, you can hear Steve Day screaming higher than any man has ever screamed before. But yeah, what was your kind of real highlight moment of that kind of period then? Is there something that sticks out, or was it all just a great adventure?
It was a really great memories. You know, I think I had like many wins with the Suzuki bike. So it was super great. No, because every victory was special.
You didn't ever win a casual race, did you? All of them, like a little bit.
all of them, because the one that I can think, okay, it was a little bit more bored to watch or to feel was the Aragon one, the one that I get the victory with some seconds, comparing some seconds gap with the second one.
That was in 2020.
2020, right? Yeah. But it was also special because I never lead a race in that moment from the beginning till the end.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So, for sure, many big races. The one in Austin with Valentino. I was so nervous. It was Valentino Rossi. I was there fighting.
Even still then, you're still like, wow, it's Valentino Rossi.
For sure, even still there, them. And I remember that I was there, 4 laps to go or 3 laps to go, I overtook him. And I was saying, wow, take care, because he's now learning your lines, and for sure he will try, he will overtake you, he will pass you. And I tried to give it everything to open a small gap. And even like this, we arrive at 0-0. Also the one with Mark in Silverstone, that was epic. That fight, he was faster than him on the last sector. So for sure, if I was arriving the last lap first, it was so difficult to get the victory, because also Mark brakes so late. And in Silverstone, this year was different, the finish line.
Yeah, we moved back to the
Exactly.
old start-finish.
In the old start-finish, I don't remember which corner is number, but the left one before the 2 final right corners. There, Mark was braking super late and super close. So the unique overtaking point that I had was on the finish line, on that fast right corner. So I give it everything there. Also the one from last year here in Valencia. It was the last race maybe ever for Suzuki. They are not anymore on the World Championship, and I get that victory. No, it was super special. Seeing all the people so happy on the box, and with a lot of enthusiasm, no? So it was super great.
And obviously you took that place in Suzuki history, and you've also taken a place in Honda history and in LCR history, of course, as well. That win in COTA this year, I mean, it's been a difficult year for Honda, for sure, but that start,
It was amazing.
I mean, talk us through that race. Did you expect it? Because obviously it seemed like a little bit of a tougher start to the season, but when we got to Texas, I mean, like you said, you've won there in Moto2 as well, right?
Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP.
Yeah, you've won in all of them.
classes.
You're like a bit of a master of COTA, but was that the difference, or how did it all come together? Because you were quick in the sprint, and then on Sunday, I was just like, bye.
I can say that COTA for me is special. It's a nice track. But
It's quite technical, people say as well, no?
But you need to do it. I mean, it's a super technical track with a lot of chicanes, a lot of fast corners, slow corners. So I don't know how I find the way with the Honda this year to get the victory. But more than a victory, I think we did it a super great weekend.
Yeah, you were. Were you on the front row as well?
I was in the front row also. It was the 3rd race from the season, and wow, I qualified direct to Q2. We start on front row, 2nd position, I think, or 3rd. we finished second on the sprint race, and then I couldn't believe I was there in the race fighting with Pecco, that he had an unbelievable pace. Then he crashed. We go, like, we open a gap with Marini 4 seconds with him. Then he crashed, but after his crash, I continuing doing like a fast lap time, no? And I keep that gap.
I feel like it was probably a little bit stressful for the team watching you have 4 seconds behind you and still, no, let's go.
Yeah, for sure. but you know, I was riding well behind Pecco. I say, okay, I can follow in. I'm able to follow in him easy, you know. So
for everyone listening on audio, you just did the inverted commas.
Exactly. Yeah, because in MotoGP nothing is easy. but yeah, I did it. It was amazing.
And how did that feel? Obviously, with Lucho and the team, you'd not been together that long, and already you're on the top step. That must have been quite a cool experience to be able to be the one who brought them back to the top step after a bit of a tougher.
It was superb, because also in the workshop during the winter time, I was there with Lucho, and he have a museum in his workshop with all his bikes and a TV, and he had in that moment 99 podiums.
Oh yeah.
So it was missing one to make the 100 podiums.
It's like, Alex, please.
And he say,
I love it.
He put me the video and say, it's waiting for you. And then we get it in Austin, the 100 podium for LCR. So imagine Lucho, that he's not a factory team, it's his team, he's a satellite. So he was super happy.
Well, I think everyone was happy for you that weekend.
Yeah.
You know, there are just some moments where everyone's just like, yeah, that was good overall. Whoever you're a fan of, just like, yeah, well done.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a high point. We've already talked about your injury, obviously that crash in Mugello kind of derailing your season a little bit. Now we know next step will be Yamaha. It's an interesting one because you've gone from inline 4 to the Honda, and now you're going back to an inline 4. Talk us through when you made that decision, because it seemed a little bit early in the season that you were sure, okay, I'm going to take this offer.
Honestly, regarding that thing from the 4-line engine or V engine, I'm not thinking that much on this thing.
In fact, I remember when we were asking you in pre-season, like, oh, what can you tell us? It's so different, and you were like, well, it's a bike.
Yeah, in the end, it's a bike with 2 wheels. Yeah, exactly.
And then you go.
The bike maybe has some strong points that the 4-line engine doesn't have, but you adapt, no? And regarding when I took the decision, I had a contract. Well, I actually have. A contract like 1 + 1 year. So after this contract, I was feeling like I deserve like a factory bike, no? Before signing with Lucho. So we've been to Ducati, we've been to Yamaha, we've been to Honda also, but all the places were like, all the riders were with the contract, no? So we were continuing talking with Yamaha, and at certain point they come and they offer me a place, and for sure after the winning in COTA.
Did you add another 0 onto the...
Eh?
When you got one in COTA, you add another 0 onto
No. I mean, after winning in COTA, we go through Argentina, I think, and then Jerez, and I was struggling to get not to get pieces from Honda, but what I saw is that it's difficult to say, because it's not like they support more the Repsol Honda than myself, but they were taking more in consideration Marc and Joan than me. to test the new parts. So after that, I was a little bit, let's say, a bit depressed, you know, because I was in that moment the fastest rider on Honda. Mark was injured, and Joan and Taka, they were struggling, but still Honda was giving to them, to Joan or to Bradel, that is the test rider, the new parts, no? And I was receiving like later after they try, and I was like a bit disappointed, no? Because, well, for the situation. Then arrived Yamaha, and as I said, it was a factory team. In that moment, I was in that situation, so I took the opportunity, and yeah, let's see what awaits us. But
Let's see, and very soon, eh?
And very soon is what I was going to say. Very soon, on Tuesday. I'm so excited. It's not easy. It's not easy to change team, because last year I already did from Suzuki to Honda. There is new people, new crew chief, new mechanics, different organization, and it's going to be the same for the next week, no? So yeah, let's see. Luckily, I was able to take my map engineer from Suzuki. He's coming with me.
Just taking him along for your ride there.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope that it's going to be a good thing.
Well, depending on what happens on Sunday, if it's not Jack and Maverick that win it,
if it's not
Jack or Maverick that win the race on Sunday, you will become the third rider who could win on a third machine in the MotoGP era. Now you've got that Honda win. And obviously that little piece of LCR history, 100th podium.
Are you pushing me? Are you putting me pressure before start the new season next year?
No pressure, Alex, but you know. Well, I don't know. I mean, this year, how many races did it take you? 2, so no pressure, but you need to win in Qatar immediately. But no, obviously, that's a cool little bit of history you could take. You've got that piece of Suzuki history with Lucio that, come on, Alex, you did it, 100th podium. But yeah, just it's nice to see you back this weekend more than anything. We were all a little bit worried when, like you said, when you don't know the details of the injury, and obviously no one who's not super close to you just gets like, oh yeah, let's just have a look at those x-rays. We don't know, so we worry like, oh, it's taking a while. We see riders come back so quickly sometimes.
I suffer a lot.
I can imagine. And there's a documentary as well behind the scenes, right, that the team have made with you that fans can go and watch to really get a better understanding of the pain and the frustration, and I guess the impatience as well of waiting.
Exactly. It's so hard. It's so hard to be in home, watching the MotoGP.
And now you also have 2 lights out to deal with as well. You've got to watch the sprint as well as the race.
Yeah, exactly. Even more. It was. There were moments that I was switching off the TV.
Really, just like no.
Because I was like thinking, I'm in the sofa with the ice on the leg or with the magnetotherapy on the leg. What I'm doing, no? Okay, I switched off the TV. I took the phone. Wow,
okay. I mean,
it was hard.
We can't imagine, I don't think, can we, from the outside, especially when you're used to doing it every week and more and more and more as the calendar gets bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're back this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been great to get to know you a little bit better. I hope fans have enjoyed a little memory lane and some LCR love before new chapter on Tuesday.
Yeah,
so
thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, super.
Ecco, complimenti, tío. Corte, ¿eh?
Che ha spinato la...
No, la gomma, ciao. Tiravo